Guys, Danny Explosion back here again, and today I have another list for you guys. Since I had nothing really else to do today, I thought I'd make another list, because I actually do enjoy making these lists. This, on my handy little AC/DC notepad right here, is top 10 thrash bands. I'm just saying, I'm just putting this out here. I'm not really that much of a thrash fan as I used to be. But, I mean, because there are some thrash bands out there that are pretty boring, but I'm not going to get too much in detail. I don't want to go to the negatives, I just want to put that out there, but let's just get to the list already. So, let's do this. Alright, before I do the list, I just want to make some honorable mentions. First one is going to be Tankard. This is a classic thrash band from Germany, talking about drinking and all that shit. They are a very, very good thrash band. They are in my top 25, but I thought it'd be easier just to do a top 10. But very legendary thrash band. Hasn't really changed much over the years, but if you haven't checked them out, definitely check them out. Next is Sadis. Sadis is another black. Well, it was one of the first blackened thrash bands out there. Hold on. All right, there you go. And, it had Steve DiGiorio on, or I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but a legendary bassist from Sadis. He did some work on Death and all that. Really good thrash band if you ever get a chance to check him out. Next is Iron Reagan. Iron Reagan's another awesome crossover thrash band. Haven't really released much because this band has only been around for not even 10 years, I think. But still, very, very good stuff from these guys. If you haven't got a chance to check them out, definitely check them out. Next is Nuclear Assault. I would have put these guys in my top 10, but like I said with Iron Reagan, they haven't really put out too much over the years. I mean, they did put out Game Over, Survive, yeah, I started to Survive, and Handle with Care, and those were only 3 albums from Nuclear Assault I actually would really care for, but anyway, if you get a chance, definitely check out Nuclear Assault. Next is Sepultura. Why I didn't put this in my top 10 list, because this is just my opinion, I'm not really a huge fan of Sepultura's newer work ever since Max Cavalera left, but albums like Schizophrenia, Beneath the Remains, Arise, Chaos AD, all those albums were fucking awesome albums, but just their newer stuff really isn't doing it for me. I kind of find it boring, but definitely check out Sepultura's older stuff if you haven't yet. Next honorable mention is Destruction. Another great Teutonic thrash metal band from Germany. They released a lot of albums. Haven't changed a bit. They're still a good band, and definitely check them out. Alright, now let's get to the list. Number 10 is Skeleton Witch. Skeleton Witch is one of those bands that blend black metal and thrash metal perfectly. Like Serpents Unleashed, that was a fucking great album. Beyond the Permafrost, every single album they released to me is just fucking awesome. Awesome blend of black and thrash. And if you haven't checked them out, definitely check them out. I definitely recommend it. Skeleton Witch, number 10. Alright, number 9 is Municipal Waste. This is a band that I've always had fun listening to. And their newest album, The Fatal Feast, was very, very well done and enjoyable. And also, other than that, other albums like The Art of Partying, Toxic Revolution. I think that's an album, I don't know. Massive Aggressive, all them fantastic albums if you haven't checked them out. Municipal Waste is a very good thrash band with a lot of hardcore punk influence. Well, it's called crossover thrash, but anyway, Municipal Waste, number 9. Alright. Number 8 is Anthrax. These guys are part of the Big Four, and I have only two another band on from the big four that's on here, but I'll get to that later. But Anthrax to me feels like they don't get that much attention because they were actually one of the first thrash bands to emerge. They formed in 1981, and they released a lot of classic material, like from their albums Fistful of Metal, Spring the Disease, Among the Living, Persistence of Time, State of Euphoria. Their new album Worship Music is good, and I can't wait for their newest album to come out. But yeah, I just feel like these guys don't really get that much attention for that much they've done. I mean, Scott Ian from the band's done a lot. Danny Lilker, who was in there for like a little bit, did a lot of work. Frank Bello did. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Anthrax is a very, very good thrash metal band. I definitely recommend checking them out if you haven't, but I'm guessing since you're watching this, you probably have. Number 7 is Overkill. Overkill has been going at it for over 30 years now and still has not lost their luster. Sorry. Even though they're a thrash metal band, every single album they release is just still, even though we're doing the same thing, every single album they release just feels fresh and reinvented every single time they release an album, in my opinion. And they just always try to recapture their image from the 80s, and those are just one of the bands that actually do it successfully, in my opinion. And I've seen this band live many, many times, always put on a great show. Last time I saw them was in last September with Prong, and they put on a fucking awesome show at the House of Blues. But yeah, Overkill, if you haven't checked them out, definitely recommend them. They are a very, very talented thrash band. And that's it. Number 6 is Toxic Holocaust. This band has only released a couple albums, but they are pummeling and heavy as all fuck. Toxic Holocaust is a great, great blackened thrash metal with a little death metal influence in them. An Overdose of Death is personally one of my favorite thrash albums of all time. That album was fucking awesome shit. And even their newest one, Chemistry of Consciousness, was really good. Pretty short in my opinion, but it was still very, very good. Hell on Earth was fucking awesome too. You know, just every single album they released was just fucking awesome, in my opinion. I mean, not much else to add to it. I mean, if you haven't checked out Toxic Holocaust, definitely check them out. Number 5. Alright, we're getting to top 5 now. Number 5 is Creator. I don't know where to start. I mean, Creator is part of the Teutonic Big Four, along with Sodom, Tankard, and Destruction. And just like all their thrash metals from the 80s, like Endless Pain, I think that's what it's called. Pleasure to Kill. I forgot the rest, but all of their thrash albums they released were fucking awesome. They went industrial and gothic for a little bit, but then they went back to it in like the early 2000s. And every single album they released after their industrial period was just fucking awesome. I mean, Millie Petroza does a very excellent job with Creator. And, you know, I mean, Pleasure to Kill is just, you know, it's a thrash metal essential. It's a fucking awesome album. So yeah, Creator number 5. Number 4 is also part of the big Teutonic Four, is Sodom. Sodom is really one of the heaviest thrash bands I've ever listened to. I mean, like, albums like Agent Orange, M16, Epitome of Torture, Under the Sign of Evil. I mean, just really awesome stuff. And Tom Angel Ripper is to me a thrash metal icon. I mean, he's always done a great job with Sodom, and they released many albums. All of them, to me, very, very good. They're one of the most, what's the word? I forgot the word, but, you know, Sodom is a fucking great thrash band. Just, if you haven't checked them out, definitely check them out. Number 3. Now, this band is the first band I've ever listened to that was thrash metal. mean, you can call it hardcore punk and, be a genre Nazi about it, but I consider these guys thrash. This was the first band I ever got into that was thrash metal. Number 3 is Suicidal Tendencies. I love Suicidal Tendencies. Last time I saw them live was with Slayer and Exodus, and they fucking killed it. Like albums like, there's their debut, Join the Army, Pledge Your Allegiance. Wait, no. Join the Army, their debut album, How Can I Laugh Today If I Can't Even Smile Tomorrow? I think that's what it's called. Lights, Camera, Revolution, The Art of Rebellion, their newest album, 13. All of them, one of my favorite thrash albums. I mean, Suicidal Tendencies is just in my opinion, a fucking awesome thrash band that, it's one of the bands that got me into thrash metal in the first place, and that's why it's on here, is for personal reasons. And yeah, that's number 3. Number 2, Slayer. Slayer really did change it all for me. They got my taste to get heavier and heavier and heavier and this and that. But, Slayer, like, their old albums, Show No Mercy, Hell Awaits, Rain in Blood, South of Heaven, Seasons in the Abyss, and some of their newer stuff like Christ's Illusion, Roll Pan Blood, God Hates Us All, all that. I am very huge fan of those albums, and I'm actually very excited for their newest album to get released, because their Repentless track sounds very promising. But Slayer is a very influential thrash band that basically changed it all and got thrash metal more well known. And I had to put it on this list because I fucking love Slayer. I mean, who doesn't love Slayer? Number 1, Exodus. Exodus, in my opinion, is so fucking heavy and pummeling. Like, their newest album, Blood In, Blood Out, was fucking awesome. I love that album. So was Tempo of the Damned. Fucking awesome shit. So was the Atrocity Exhibit albums. Those were fucking dope too. Why did I say dope? I hate that word. The Atrocity Exhibit albums were fucking awesome too. So was Shovelhead Kill Machine. Some of their 80s stuff was really good too. I've always been a huge Exodus fan. Sadly, I don't own any albums from them, and it makes me very, very, very sad. But I will eventually get albums from them in the future because, as you know, Exodus is my favorite thrash band of all time. Well, currently at the moment. It could change. Alright, thanks guys. Thank you for watching my video. Like, comment, subscribe if you want. You don't have to. It's a free goddamn country. You can do what you want. And as always, keep it metal.